Hello everybody, welcome back to Feldy, a wonderful map created by Farmer Yip for Farming Simulator 11. We're out here in the harvest field for barley. One of our larger fields actually had potatoes in it last time. Trying to get the harvest in. Let me switch over to my combine and get her going. You know, at some point in here, I should switch to back and forth. Maybe I'll just get this going here. Oops, let me turn off my map. Gotta take care of the arrows. Spread that out, kind of to take in for the header. 7.3 meters, I think that's about right. Left, I think that's all we need to do. Turn that off, and it's almost full, so why don't I go back to where I was, and we'll take this out and get ready to go unload. Been making some cattle feed with all of our barley here. I have a feeling at some point I'm going to choke it full of barley down there, and I won't be able to make any more. I need to haul in some more feed stuff. I think making cattle feed, or excuse me, am I on cattle feed or yeah, cattle feed, I believe takes feed stuff and barley and biofuel. So I need some more feed stuff to come in there, and most of the feed stuff that I had went for the hog feed. And kind of a last episode, I got started tearing out those fields, and speaking of that here, as soon as our combine heads off, I'm going to go check on that and see kind of where things are. Oh yes, this thing wants you out of the way before it continues. Is that far enough? Yeah, that's what I thought. Alright, let me see if I can go over to 3. Oh, it's so handy when that works. Turn off field detection. I think I gotta do that. Yep, got just... Oh, I guess I don't have... Let's try that again. I think I'm down, right? No, I wasn't down. There we go. Yeah, I have just a little bit left, and this particular field was in a red clover, and I may put red clover in again. We'll see. You can kind of see the little... Oops, that's too far down. It's got just a little bluish tinge coming, where the next crop was growing up. It's kind of a perennial thing. But I wanted to be able to fertilize it to get a higher yield. Plus, I was kind of toying with the idea of just having the feed stuff fields kind of be closer over where the feed mixer mill is. So, actually, let me turn this on. I gotta keep a sharp eye on the combine, because as I know we've learned in here many times, one of the disadvantages of the autopilot mod is that it looks outside the field for crops of the same type. So it means that the combine has had a tendency to wander. You know, there's a number of fields that have barley in them. So there we go. Let me fold this sucker up. It is tended to head over into the other field, and we can kind of monitor it with the dot, or the yellow dot there. Alright, so I got these taken care of. And really, as I'm hauling in, oh yes, and I'm hauling biofuel also. Let me get this up the hill. Maybe by some stroke of luck, the combine will... Caught some air. I think he's going across. Let me see here. Hey, it turned. Alright. previously it wandered down into here, so maybe it's far enough away now that it isn't looking too far away. Things are looking up. Alright, we'll continue taking this down over here, and probably before I continue cultivating, I should probably go hook this up to a baler. Yeah, I need some fuel too, by the way. I got grass down over to the left. I'm going to have a whole bunch of bales coming here. Actually, I can use the grass and straw both. Both can be turned into bedding. There's another unit at our feed mill that handles that. So, and I'm going to need some bedding in order to, I think both cattle and hogs require bedding. Alright, I see our combine. Nope, our combine is still moving. Let me get this over just close enough here so I can get fuel. Actually, you know, a little bug I discovered with this fuel, I can get it going, and then I can move away and it still, you know, continues putting fuel in. Probably shouldn't do that. Kind of suspends realism. Let me drop the cultivator here. I'm going to go pick up the baler. Got a field right behind me that needs baled, so then of course there'll be a big old field of bales here to take care of. Combine still clicking away. Do just enough to get it off of. There we go. Alright, now let me head to, there's so many things going on at once. It sure is handy when that works. Boy, this needs some sauce too, so I think it's all set up. Yeah, I've been plugging that. Let me see how much biofuel I have in there. Rocks, chicken, kelp, cattle feed. I have about 16,000. Yeah, it's already made some. Maybe I need to look at my total inventory. We got some water up there. Fertilizer storage. Oh, I guess maybe it did some kelp. Let me see here. Yeah, rock, cattle feed, pig feed. Almost 100,000 of pig feed storage. I don't know what I ran out of with pig feed. Maybe it was feed stuff. Maybe also it was running out of sugar beets. Alright, we're coming along with cattle feed. Still have a fair amount of biofuel, which is good. We need it. Oops. Maybe I'll just keep it on the second page. And I don't know that I'll get close enough to take a nip of fuel. I'm going to do that here. And then, sorry, I'm just going to cheat a little bit and let it go off as it fills. It just has a long connecting hose. What can I say? Alright, so this is all filled back in. Let me see, is the combine... Alright, the combine is tapped out. So, let me go back and go get this. Maybe what I can do, because I still don't quite trust the combine, is I could set him up on back and forth, maybe. I still, you know, I set up, I worked on the mod so that I could have that option. So, let me just do that. I'm gonna take that out and... Alright, it's empty, so let's pull that back. We'll finish out our row here. Lift it up. Turn off the header for a moment so it doesn't squawk at me the whole way. I got 5 windrows over here, plenty of room to turn around. It kind of based on how the field is shaped. I think I want to go over here. We'll start kind of on the small end. That should work. And I'll just go up and down the hill here. And continue it. That's kind of curvy a little bit. Oops, sorry, I can't hold the camera straight. Okay, let me take just maybe a partial windrow. Make sure he collects the whole thing. Alright, now I want to make sure this is at 360 or as close to 0 as I can get it. Okay, dead on. Good. Now let's get rid of any saved. Alright, now hopefully he will... No. What, wait, what are you doing, you silly... Am I in the grain? Alright, I should be in the grain. Yeah, I think when it doesn't see grain, it wants to turn around. Alright, let me try that. No. That's getting confuzzled. Beep, beep. Come on. As close as I can to... I had it sitting there perfect, of course. Good gracious. Alright, maybe that'll work. And the advantage of hiring this, of course, is it should make nice, long, straight windrows that are easier to bale. And I think that'll be just enough to... There we go. Pick out the windrow. And hopefully it'll behave itself and go kind of across the field and get the job done. Alright, so... Oops, wrong tractor. Let me go back to this one, and we will zip down over the hill and dump it in the cattle feeder. Now let me go see again how much we have in there. Yeah, see, we're running a little short on barley at the moment. Now it's 1,000 apiece. I put more feed stuff in here than I realized. So basically that's like 49 iterations. I'm going to be putting about half of those in here. So we got another couple loads of barley, that I can dump out of this trailer before we're going to need more feed stuff. And that raises another issue that I was having. As everybody knows, I've been having trouble. I just couldn't fix the thing of, our forage harvester that I use to pick up the feed stuff. The pipe just won't point constantly to the trailer. I don't know why, it just won't. Alright, let me do that. Let me head down to this tractor. Reset. Course play. You can say what you want about course play, but when it comes to this kind of thing, it is invaluable. Because it handles a whole lot of back and forth that I don't have to do. Of course, maybe some people would enjoy the back and forth better than being in the harvest field. There's such a tiny trigger in there. Sometimes I don't hit it square on. There we go. Back to the feed stuff. Alright, let me head to the... There we go. He's already empty. And it's working. Oh! And the physics back here in Farm Sim 11 were a little more interesting than the physics are in later versions. I sometimes catch error and have no idea just why. So like I say, I think we have one more load of barley needed, and then we're going to be hurting for some feed stuff. So with that in mind, here, let me head to the swather. So here's the thing. Usually I've turned this loose, and you know, I'm going to have to just take a little time to do this here. Usually I've turned this loose and it just kind of forges its own way, but it does it in a very meandering way. So, you know, it'll be straight here, but then you got this curve to deal with and all sorts of curves down there. So I'm wondering if I need to record a course play that just deals with it and where I can make him as straight as possible and that kind of thing. So I don't know how to do this effectively. It basically means that while I'm doing it, well, maybe I can go check other things. I don't know. Record course start. Here we go. Get this going. I'm starting over here because, you know, this is where we would ordinarily start. So I gotta be careful. Oh yeah, it's not. There we go. There we go. Gotta take just enough. And I don't know, maybe I'd be okay just using the autopilot. It's pretty cool that, you know, it could be installed on a mod like this. You know, I feel good that I was able to put it on there, but the thing of it is like when it comes to curves up here, I mean, it's going to continue on around, but I just don't think that's going to be as helpful as if I cut this just a little differently. And probably what it is, I mean, what I need is square corners. So I need to come up here, and that's going to be a square corner. Maybe now I need to kind of back up. I don't know how that's going to go. And now I kind of need to be creative how I cut this. I think I'm just going to send it. I'm going to aim kind of for an area up here. I guess I can go faster, make short work of this. But I want to have a straight windrow, and see what I'm going to need to do is come back and cut this part separately. You know, I just need to kind of take this. Yeah, there'll be another little corner here, and maybe I bail a section in here versus cut it for feed stuff. I don't know. Let me try to do the edge here as best I can. I guess I can still move at a decent clip. Man alive, I don't know in real life that we go anywhere near 18 miles an hour. So I'm coming up here where I need to make another square corner. So rather than kind of go on around the bend, I'm going to just kind of come like that. I know I probably shouldn't back up. Let me see if I can get this to turn tight. That's the hard part of putting it on a course play like this, is the corners. Yeah, leaving some there, but that's all right. And then down here, we'll cut another. See, I'm not cutting all of this. It makes me wonder if the field isn't totally square. I'm going to be curious to see kind of how this works. Maybe I should have had it generate its own course versus try to freehand this. But the thing I've noticed with generating a course is it tends to go a lot on diagonal instead of picking what would be intuitive. You know, a long skinny field like this, you would think intuitively it would head down and back the long edge, you know, to cut all these windrows, but a lot of times it doesn't. It'll just pick some crazy diagonal and then you got a field full of diagonals, which I guess would be okay, but it just, I don't know, doesn't look intuitive, if I can put it that way. Okay, I'm going to just skip over this spot right here, because I think that makes sense to not drop the windrower there. And maybe what I need to do is be less fastidious on the corners. You know, if I can't pick up, you know, that little curved part, not to worry about it. There we go. And at some point, well, I don't know if I can do that and get away with it. There we go. Turn the corner. Almost looks like it isn't cutting on the right side of the header for some reason. Yeah, maybe it's just an optical illusion. Given the height of the plant, I don't know. Kind of seems like it's doing it now, too. I wonder if it just isn't grabbing there. I skipped some. So this is a field of red clover that I tore out last time. See, there's a little bit of curve in here, but hopefully it isn't too much curve, so I'm still able to pick it up pretty easily with the equipment. Alright, probably will leave a little on the corner, but that's okay. Hopefully this isn't too bumpy in here. I can give it a good cut. And when I get to the end of this round, I'm going to try something. I'm going to leave... Yeah, see, it skipped that whole spot. I'm going to try a little experiment. I'm going to leave this kind of right where it is, and then I'm going to go take care of some other stuff, and I'm going to come back and see if it is still on record. I think I can get away with that. I don't like leaving an unfinished course kind of in the middle of it while I'm recording it, but I'd also like to keep the rest of the farm going rather than just do this till it's finished, which leaves everything else basically on hold. There we go. We'll finish that off. It's kind of a divot into the field. Okay. Ooh. I don't know how much space I need for turning around. Alright, now let me head over to, well, I think first we'll go to this fella, pick his course to return to pick up biofuel. Boom. We'll move it up because we'll be changing down there. Alright, let me go get him a dumping. And I have a feeling the combine is probably also full, so I'll go offload it. It is so helpful too with Courseplay that it tells you, you know, when he's reached the end of the course. Alright, so he's going. Let me go to mine. Yep, combine is waiting. It's leaving little bits in the field, but yeah, this will be so much easier, I think, to bale than it would be going around and around. Even if I did, you know, increase the working area, if you will, of the header. All right, back to Fort Schritt. Yeah, it's still going kind of on the same course, so we're still recording. Hopefully it didn't record literally everything that we just did with that other stuff. I don't think it will. Slow down for the corner. And like I say, maybe I just need to be more... I don't know. I think I've talked about this before. I don't know how you are, but I hate leaving little bits behind in the field. It just seems wasteful. It's probably my own OCD. I don't know. I probably just need to be more willing to leave it there if I can't pick it up easily, you know, for the sake of efficiency. That's probably what they would do in real life. But you know what? I think in real life, farmers maybe have varying degrees of OCD in them too. I mean, I remember a long time ago when I was a little boy riding a combine with, I think, one of my uncles, and there was this small patch right beside a rock pile, and he took special care to make sure he hit that patch. And we're talking an area probably 10 foot by 10 foot, no bigger than that. He could have just kept on going, but he didn't. He wanted to make sure the field was harvested. But probably the cost of time and fuel to go get that little spot was more than the value of the grain that he was able to harvest out of it. Just being real. But there's something that seems so wasteful about that, about not picking it up. Even if in this case it is just a game. Now I do have the lizard tractor waiting down there. It maybe is close to being done, dumping its load of biofuel, so at some point here I need to get it headed back. Is 3 rows enough? Maybe I need to do one more time around. Alright, let me go to my tractor here. Empty. Let's get him driving. Alright. You know, the quick switcher, or whatever this is called, fast switcher, it seems to be working great. And I almost seem to recall that the times I would have trouble with it began whenever I would turn loose the portrait on autopilot. I don't know what it is about it, but it seems like as soon as I did that, it would cease working properly. But now it works great. It's very handy. As soon as a person is able to memorize the list as to what equipment comes next or which particular one you want to reach. But I don't know, it gives you pretty handy markers as to who's who and what they're doing. It tells you what they're pulling as well as what the main unit is called. Yeah, we'll find out when I do this. And this, if it turns out this isn't what we needed, this will be a whole lot of pain for nothing. But we'll see. If it was straight enough, and I know probably what's going to happen is when I do the corners, it's going to bother me if I can't take the whole corner, so there we go. Hopefully I can. The idea is to try to get as close to a 90 bend in there as I can. I think I'm getting close. Why does it look like I'm hardly cutting anything off on the right side? You know, it makes me wonder if I need to look at the cutting area on the header to see if it needs to be moved over more. Either that or, hold on, let me try something here. I go to this real quick. What happens if I just move that out? I don't think this will do anything, but I don't know. Maybe that'll, yeah, that'll do a thing. I was thinking maybe, yeah, that's the autopilot mod. Unless I engage autopilot, I can't really expect it to change anything. Alright, now let's see if I can pull this off. Okay, so this is, I want to try to make See, I'm not going to be lifting. Oh, that's what's going to be painful about this. Back up a little bit. It'll be really curious to see how this goes in the future when I just turn this loose, because I don't entirely trust course play when it comes to backing up. I think later versions of course play work way better than this one, of course, as you would expect. You know, things are going to get better with it over time. You know, this one here, for example, I don't think it would lift the cutter, you know, when it gets to the end, so I'm going to be making a mess of this fourth row kind of down here, but I don't know that it can be helped. You know, if I just try to turn around, you know, in real life, these things will literally turn on a dime, so you could do this no problem. But I don't know in game here, it just doesn't. Saved by the bell. Yeah, and here I don't know that we can quite do that. I guess if I really wanted to make progress cutting the field, I would get the large windrower back, but kind of like we've proven, when you have more windrows, there is more material that you'll be harvesting from the field. So I think I'll stick with my little one. I think that's what I'll do. Alright, well, let me get through this one here. I'm gonna do the rest of this off cam so you all don't have to suffer through it. And maybe I can keep turning right on around. There's no backup there. That's a little... I'll do the rest of this off cam so you don't have to suffer through it. There's quite a bit here to finish the course out, and we'll continue harvesting grain, and I will see you on the next one. But goodbye for now.